Timeout talk.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another weekly edition of Timeout Talks, sponsored by the one and only Ice Shaker, Chasing Thrills, and of course, streaming on the one and only Minifan Network, and sponsored by the Kirk Minahan Show. I'm Josh, Ben alongside me. We're here. Last week, we were off and running. We had a bunch of viewers in here. Let's see if we can kind of, tally that up again, but we've got so much. I mean, this is, I don't know. I was talking to Ben before the show. I don't know how I didn't forget that it was a trade deadline. I forgot to emphasize it in our show. We always do a special. We always go crazy. Even last week, I completely dropped the ball. Ben and I and James in the past, when he comes on, we usually predict who's going to go where. And I just completely dropped the ball. But Ben, the Jets being high sellers, the Colts buying high. I mean, I don't know what you want to get to first. Of course, we'll talk about some Bruins, Celtics a little later. Quick World Series take. And of course, we'll recap week 9, talk all this NFL trade deadline. And of course, send you guys off and running with our week 10 predictions, locks, upsets, and yeah, but we've got a lot here. I just want to welcome in. We've got Bakey, good Ben, good evening, and of course the Nerd Dog. But Ben, where do we start? Today's been a wild day.
Yeah, I think you have to go with the Nard Dog on that one. I think we're going to have to go big day for Josh. I say we go Quinn and Williams. I know Jerry said yes last night. I know it's a little different too after that Cardinals result, but I know Jerry promised a big move, and he delivered. He delivered on that one. I was hoping it wasn't going to be Logan Wilson because you don't really want anyone from that Bengals defense, but no, Quinn and Williams, this is big. This is great for the Cowboys. Like I said, if a win would have been nice, over the Cardinals. Getting this news would have been even better, but this doesn't solidify a playoff run, Josh, or anything like that. But that just shows you that you guys aren't folding. I mean, even after a loss like this is just you're pushing all the cards in. Probably not going to re-sign Pickens, but hey, he's just probably going to get way too much money anyway, so probably weren't going to be able to afford him. So might as well just go all in this year. I don't know if Quinn Williams and Logan Wilson are going to solve the problems, Josh, but this is a great move. I think it's pretty low risk, high reward. You're basically just getting a first rounder in Quinn Williams anyways, so it's not going to be too high of a pick. You still got the Packers pick this year, upcoming, Josh, in this year's draft. So for the Cowboys, I'm excited. I'd be excited. Because I mean, you can't get much worse than that defense, Josh. So he's gonna make some big improvements to this defense, and hopefully Logan Wilson can do the same because that defense, Josh, is no good. And last night, we'll get into a little more of that recap last night, but that defense last night showed you that they need all the help they can get. I would have maybe went secondary, Josh, but huge move for the Cowboys, and it's going to keep him in the season. It's going to keep him because pretty low vibes for the Cowboys after last night, Josh.
Yeah, we've had a bunch of moves. I saw this move earlier, Ben, the Sauce Gardner. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But as you mentioned, Jets just fire sale. I want your takes on the Colts later and I kind of want you to break that trade down. But yeah, I mean, I saw the Colts going all in, I woke up this morning, real early. I noticed that Logan Wilson trade, and I was like, oh, this is a guy that's been linked. I know Ricky Scoops and some other analysts and, NFL guys had the Cowboys linked to him. And, Ben, what have I complained about on this show so much is the linebackers and just this defense. And they went out, they got him for a 7th round pick. Yes, he got benched. Yes, he wasn't playing the best. Yes, he's on a defense, that's probably just as bad, if not worse than the Cowboys. But for starters, I'm telling you right now, he's better than whoever we've got out there for linebackers. We're getting Overshown back. I think you brushed up on that. I like this move. I like the moves that the Cowboys did. But just I want to start it off with this, Ben. Just bad loss last night. Same thing. Like, they reel you back in, they're down 10 and just sloppy football, sloppy play calling. I heard a caller today on the Cowboys radio say, I'm sick of getting out coached. I love Brian Schottenheimer. I like the energy he's brought. He's got a good story with his dad, and watching that before the countdown, it's making me fall more for him. But again, like, he's getting out coached, and you've got Gannon, and I forget who the other one was, Nick Rawlis. I mean, he was unbelievable, calling up a great game defensively. Will Johnson played really well, and they were just, that defense for the Cardinals they were just rallying, forcing fumbles. And again, a lot of these problems for the Cowboys won't be solved by, just going out and getting Logan Wilson, who, yes, is a day one starter. And yes, Quinnen Williams, probably, if not the best defensive tackle in the league. I know some people say Jordan Davis, or, they'll maybe some people say Milton Williamson, or whatever his name is for the Pats, Milton Williams. But yeah, Williamson. There you go. Thank you, Ben. All jumbled today. I'm all fired up from this. But yeah, I think the Cowboys, they did the right thing. I do. They didn't go too crazy. They got a young player for the next 2 years, as Ben said, kind of shores up that defensive line. And as Ben has mentioned, and as I've mentioned, there was no player that was going to come in here. Even Deion Sanders in his prime couldn't come in and change this defense overnight. It's got to happen in a year. And I heard a really good point. It was one of the announcers a couple weeks ago when we played the Broncos. They said, just be like the Denver Broncos. A few years ago, even last year, the Denver Broncos defense wasn't so good. And then they all of a sudden made that switch to being one of the best defensive, teams in the league. And maybe Dallas can be that, go all in. You still have 2 first-round picks. And I'm going to leave it at this for the Cowboys stuff so we can get into some other stuff. But you had 4 first-round picks, Ben. You still have, 3 in the next 2 years. So I don't know. I still like what we've got going on. Or not 3. Is it 3? I'm blanking. I don't know.
3. Yeah,
I'm all over the place.
The Packers one. Still the Packers.
Yeah, we still got the Packers. Still got ours. Yeah, we still got ours. And you know what? We've got a young defensive lineman there that's going to help shore up our team. And we've got a lot of issues and penalties, and there's so much that's got to be fixed. But hey, keeps it interesting. At least Jerry Jones kind of balanced, Ben, kind of like that Micah Parsons trade, doing it for the future, but also getting compensation and getting rid of your your best player, excuse me. But yeah, I don't know. I'm interested in seeing what the Cowboys can actually do, put on paper. They're getting Chavon Revel back, or to start, which is going to be great. They thought he could be a first-round talent. You're getting DeMarvion Overshown back. You know what he can do when he's healthy. So, maybe they snag another player on the free agency or something. But I want to see what they do. I want to see what Quinnen Williams brings to this team. But Ben, I don't expect a deep playoff run. I don't expect a playoff run unless you somehow get lucky and you can sneak in at like 9-7-1, which I don't even know if that record is feasible. Just a bad loss to the Cardinals. And Ben, I gotta say, I'm loving what the Colts did. I've been really wanting to hear what you think. I've been just hating on the Colts. I've been all over them. They're frauds. You guys just beat them. You guys played good. You guys stand pat at the trade deadline. Patriots as well. A little shocking, not too shocking. Feel like both those franchises kind of like to play things safe, especially right now with the teams they've got. But this one really caught my attention today. Did not see him getting traded. I know people, floated it out there, Ben, but Colts going all in. I mean, the Seahawks as well. They went out. Oh, this was the Jags. Jags went out. They got Jacoby Myers, which is another one, but Shaheed getting traded. Ben, all these trades. What do you think?
Yeah, Shaheed. I mean, the Seahawks, just what a display they put on against Commanders, obviously, Jaden. Going down in that horrific injury, that's brutal to watch. But I mean, he was there up until the 4th quarter, so they were doing it all. They pretty much had the whole game against them, and that defense stepped up. Josh, talking about great defenses. Former Cowboy DeMarcus Lawrence just looking great over there. Great offseason signing from them.
Of course.
And they've really just didn't mean to rub salt in the wound there. But that defense is really turning it around. From last season and everything, they've always had a solid defense. They've had some great draft picks throughout the years and sort of build that defense up. And now you're seeing the rewards. And Sam Darnold's perfect in like half that game, Josh, against the Commanders. So he was like 13 of 13. Obviously, threw 4 touchdowns, over 250 yards in that game. So Sam Darnold's legit over there. So getting him Shaheed, that's a big move for the Seahawks, helping solidify a little playoff run for them, giving JSN another guy over
I
there.
like it.
Hopefully Cooper Cup can get a little healthy too. I think he should be back next week. So I love that signing for the Seahawks and trade, I should say, for the Seahawks. And as you mentioned, Josh, we'll get to that big one. Yeah, this is the biggest one. I agree. Sauce Gardner to the Colts. I know a lot of people call them frauds now. Josh mentioned that one. Obviously, Steelers beating them. I told everyone it was one of those games where no one gives us a chance, and we win them somehow. I don't know why we win these games, and we lose to the scrub sometimes. But we play down to the competition. We play up to it. So great win for us. But I think that one kind of just woke up the Colts, Josh. They're still sitting at 7-2, still sitting at the top of the AFC, but they just needed another piece on that defense. They just needed another sort of splash piece, and they got it. This is a good trade. I know people say 2 first-round picks is a lot, but you got to give up a lot to get good players, Josh. Just like that Quinn Williams one. I mean, I know you gave up a first, but that's essentially, hey, I mean, are you going to get, anybody better than Quinn Williams, a top 5 pick, and, top 3 position at that top 3 player at that position? No. So essentially that first round pick is just a swap. So I think this is good for the Colts. I mean, the Colts are going to be good for these next couple years. So that first rounder isn't going to be too high of a pick for the Jets, but it's good for them for their rebuilding purposes. But no, I think A+ for the Colts, Josh. And this is scary. This is scary for the rest of the AFC because they've shored up that defense now, and Daniel Jones may be a little free to make some more mistakes, like we saw against the Steelers, and they might be able to still win some games now with that defense and sauce. So maybe affords Daniel Jones to be a little more like the Giants' Daniel Jones that we've seen in the past. So I think this is good for the Colts. Best move of the deadline. I'm trying to think of anybody else. Yeah, I'm a little shocked that the Pats didn't do anything, Josh. If I was the Pats, I would have went after something on defense. I know the defense could use just maybe another piece or two, nothing crazy, but I think that offense is good, and I would have liked to see them. I mean, I wouldn't have liked to see it, but for putting myself in the Pats fan perspective, I would like to see maybe a little run at Trey Hendrickson, or even, I know I just said no offense, but Brees Hall. I mean, if he's going for a third, might as well cough up a third for him. I know that's a heavy running back room already, but I think the Colts biggest winners today, Josh. Biggest winners.
And that was going to be my next question was, Patriots, Steelers, you guys coming off a huge win. The one thing, I look at your team and I said it on this show. I was dead wrong. I said, excuse me. I said, they got to go out and get another receiver. If they get a wide receiver 2 to kind of take pressure off DK Metcalf and Aaron Rodgers, they're going to be legit. And, Ben, off a huge win, I thought the same thing for the Steelers. I thought, why don't they go out and get somebody, trade low or, give up a late round pick for some receiver. Look at what the Jags just gave up for Jacoby Myers. I think he's a good player. It's kind of a rental. You're not like locked on to him. I don't know. Interesting. I definitely agree with you on the Pats. I think you should have done something, whether it was an edge rusher or, bringing in another wide receiver, Bootie's kind of banged up, or a running back. I know, Stevenson's, he's all banged up. You lost Gibson, Trey Henderson. Geez, I can't speak tonight. Trey Henderson hasn't been what they thought he could be. He's slowly coming into the fold. So I know Tony Pollard, Jerome Ford, those names kind of thrown out there. And as you mentioned, Brees Hall for a third. One of those teams making that move. I know Steelers got Jalen Warren. That's kind of their running back one, but I don't know. Very interesting. I'm not, again, I want to preface it with this to Ben's point. I'm not like beside myself. I'm not pissed. Like if I'm a Patriots or Steelers fan, you're still going to make the playoffs. Patriots, they're got a huge matchup coming up this weekend. This is really going to test them. We'll see what they're made of going into Tampa Bay to play that tough, hard-nosed Baker Mayfield team in the Tampa Bay Bucks. But yeah, I'm not surprised. Even as I said to Sean and Denise, they walked into me. When I walked in today saying, "What, are you surprised that the Patriots did this?" And you know what? Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. Patriots usually stand pat. That's what they did. They keep their capital, and yeah, they're just both teams looking to make a run, Ben, with what they
Yeah,
got.
you just said it right there, Josh. They kept their capital and they're just moving what they with what they got this year. I mean, Pats, they expected to see a little bit of a jump, obviously not this big of a jump, beating the Bills and being in control of that division right now. So it makes sense. Might as well just go all in with what you got and see how far you can go. You still got plenty of cap space for the Patriots next off season, so you still got plenty of time for some moves and everything. But yeah, I get why both of us didn't do it. I mean, hey, Steelers, you got the highest paid defense in the league, so we spent some money over on that side, and I think Calvin Austin coming back, he's not the ideal number two, but I like him. I think he's stepping up this season. I think Aaron
It's
Rodgers
true.
likes him. The Steelers got Duggar. Duggar's been a nice little move for us.
I like that.
MVP. Yeah, MVP's over. MVS, I should say. Excuse me. Let's call him MVP. He's hopefully he's the MVP. That'd be nice. But no, yeah, a couple small moves from us. I mean, we're just taking all the expats, guys. I don't know why we're just literally have the Patriots secondary from last year. It's kind of strange for us, but Duggar played well. Duggar, nice versatile safety to pair him up with. Not blanking on his name already. Pair him up with. I'll get back to the safety. I'm blanking on the other guy that we got back there. Kind of stinks too, but to be honest, we don't really have that good of a. Well, Jalen Ramsey, he's been rotating some safety plays and everything. We kind of just throw him everywhere now. Uh, with Thornhill going down and Clark going down. So no, but I'm excited with these moves, Josh, for everyone else and our little moves over there. But it's setting up for a nice second half of the season. So I'm excited, and that was a good win from us. Big win for us.
Yeah, much needed win. Me and you both predicting it, and something that
Yeah,
I didn't get the I could probably get those up by the end of the episode. I can get our predictions up. I'll just have to download them. But
I did
yeah,
all
I
right.
mean,
I did all right this week.
me too, Ben. I didn't get. I hate not getting my upset of the my lock of the week right, and I didn't get that right. I didn't get my upset of the week right. I've just a tough week for me, Ben. And I mean, I don't know, some weird matchups. I mean, you saw the Panthers. I mean, that was a surprise to all. And then you just kind of look at the landscape of the NFL. I know I say this every week, but especially after the trade deadline, like you think some of those teams like the Patriots, like the Steelers, look around and they're probably like, this is such a parity league that why make a move? Even if we don't make a move, we feel like we're in it. And yeah, Ben, looking at these picks, they've definitely gotten a lot better for you in the past few weeks, but just a couple, head scratching, victories for some teams like the Panthers and, Cardinals taking down my Cowboys where just didn't, I want to say didn't see it coming, but kind of a surprise.
Yeah, definitely a surprise for me on the Cowboys. At home, bounce back week. Not bounce back week, but teams riled up. You're feeling good. The offense is clicking. I don't know. I wasn't expecting them to not have a touchdown until until like the late third quarter. I thought it'd be a shootout. Don't get me wrong. I knew the Cardinals were gonna move the ball against that defense, but I just wasn't expecting the Cardinals defense to step up like that. So that was definitely a shocking one. But yeah, that Green Bay one, not too happy with Jordan Love and his fantasy performance. What was that? What was that, man? That was awful. But yeah, the Packers. I mean, the Packers 2 losses, Browns and Panthers, and obviously tying you guys up. There we go. See, nice. Not bad. Not bad. The Texans, that's another one. I mean, I know C.J. Stroud going down. That was I don't know why I took the Raiders too. Why'd I take the Raiders? That's kind of crazy. But the Texans, another surprising one. I mean, I know Stroud went down, but they were controlling that game, and have it slip away just shows you, hey, another one for the Broncos, another storyline, Josh. The Broncos, I mean, they're leading the AFC West. I kind of forgot about that. I won't lie. I thought it was still the Chargers, but the Broncos surging back like the Patriots right now on a big winning streak. So Broncos looking great. That's another surprise in that division. You see, like we talked about the Seahawks, great Rams. I mean, another just the West and the NFC, both Wests. Everybody except the Cardinals in the NFC are doing great over there too. Niners with a victory over the Giants. So, and I got that. Well, I think I got that Lions one wrong too. I think you gave me that check mark for the Lions, but
Oh, oops.
Lions lost. So hey, well, I just want to give me. I appreciate it, Josh. Josh giving me a little more credit than I deserve. He's always got my back on that, but yeah, just another. I mean, just looking at the board for the upsets. Yeah, I wasn't expecting. I mean, I don't think anyone saw the Vikings coming back and being the Lions at home. But I mean, JJ McCarthy just shows you he's a different animal with that team. That team actually runs pretty well when he's there, and not Carson Wentz. No offense to Carson Wentz, but that's another shock one. But Bears too. The Bengals stink, Josh. The Bengals are just awful. You gotta give Joe Flacco the credit where he deserves, but that defense is worse than you guys, and probably worse than we had really bad defenses, Josh. That defense is probably one of the worst I've ever seen. So wanted to slip that one in there too.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I just something about Caleb Williams. I love the way he plays. It's crazy because I used to come on the podcast, hated on him. He's asking for ownership. Something about him I like. I don't know why. He gives me he's kind of like Kyrie Irving, but the NBA. Like, he's so much fun to watch. He does these crazy things where I'm like, why are you doing this? And then, it'll be like a crazy throw. He's like literally going all the way on his left side of, to the field. And then he'll make like a crazy over the shoulder throw. And it's just like, how is he even doing that? Or, he'll just dance around. I don't know. I like him. I've fallen victim. That's like my guilty pleasure, I guess, somehow. Gave myself the X there for the Lions. That was my lock of the week, Ben. I was so pissed about that. I hate not getting the lock of the weeks, but it seems like I can't get one. I can't get the bolt down, Ben. I think the lock of the week I'm getting. I don't, but you know what? I get the Bills. I'm fired up though. I got you guys winning. I had the Bills winning. I knew it. I told Tyler and John, I said, and I'm saying this right now, Patriots fans, do not forget about the Bills. I'm telling you right now, my bold prediction, they're going to come back into Gillette and they're going to tie the series. They're going to beat you. It's going to happen. It's my bold take. I said they're going to beat the Chiefs last night or 2 nights ago. They did. Just trust me on that. They're not done. I'm not saying they're going to go further than you in the playoffs. I'm not saying that they're going to win the division. I'm just saying the next time they play you, they're going to beat you. But other than that, Ravens on a roll, Chargers, they get that win. Jags, I like the Jags, man. They're a tough team. And as you mentioned, Broncos, I mean, I know they kind of snuck up on people last year. Some people thought they were going to take a step back. They haven't done that. Commanders, they're just an abysmal dumpster fire. I mean, tough look for my guy, Dan Quinn. He kind of came out and admitted, I probably shouldn't have started. Continue to keep Jaden Daniels in that game. Of course, Cowboys defense absolutely blows. And Ben, little interesting fact here. I'm pretty sure as of right now, in the way that things are going to go, the Cowboys are going to be the worst team in the history of the NFL on third down. We saw it last night a couple times. I got like 3rd and 23, 3rd and 18, 3rd and 17. Just shaking your head there, but a little better. Only 4 X's there for me. What felt like it was like 7 X's. Actually, hit my parlay this weekend, so I'm pretty fired up about that. But that's what we got coming around the NFL Week 9 there. We've got some. I feel like we have to talk about this. I've been waiting to talk to you about this. I mean, all I could think about was the show. I mean, they push it to Game 7. Ben, this was, and I think I heard it might have been Alex Rodriguez, or it was either A-Rod or it was either Big Poppy. I don't want to misquote, but this might have been the best Game 7 I have ever seen in any sport, if not even just baseball. I mean, just crazy moments. You think the Blue Jays have them down, they're up 4-1. And this is what the Dodgers do. The Dodgers taking a little playbook out of the Blue Jays this year was they just played, come behind baseball. They found a way to do it, hit a home run. It was Miguel Rojas who dude, they were saying his girlfriend was telling him, or his wife, excuse me, he wasn't even starting. She kept saying, honey, you're going to hit a home run. You're going to hit a home run. And he's looking at her like, I don't start. How am I going to hit a home run? Guess what? She spoke it into existence. He hits a home run to tie it. Then Will Smith, who I just big moment. This is what the Dodgers do, Ben. And this is what it comes down to is money in the bank, man. They had more money in the bank. Billion-dollar pitching staff. I mean, that's just insane. A lot of that money going to Ohtani. Just in pitching alone, they've spent $1 billion. They've spent well over $1 billion on that team. And then that's what's going to happen when you pay the money and you have those guys who they're not afraid of the moment and they're very familiar with it. But dude, to be down 4-3 in the bottom of the ninth inning with one out, and then the Blue Jays had a chance with the bases loaded in the top of the ninth, Dodgers tie it, and then bottom of the ninth, they had the bases loaded. Ben, I don't want to say too much to give to you, but this is what the Dodgers do, man, and just crazy, crazy.
It's a perfect transition right there. That was the craziest part that I saw. Obviously, I mean everyone saw it from that one. I think everybody was tuned into that Game 7 because of what Josh alluded to. It was just one of the best ones I've ever seen, if not the best one. But yeah, that catch by the Hodges. I believe I got it right over there. I
Yep.
mean, once I saw Yamamoto look back at that one, I said, "Oh my God, did they just walk this off?" And I see him going back there, and they just trucks Kike. Hey, shout out Kike. Kike got right back up after that one. But I was watching that live. I said, "Oh my God, is this going to be not a top 10 play or disaster or a top 10 play?" And it turned out to be a top 10 play. Just a great catch from Hodges over there. He had a clutch hit too in that game. But like you said, Josh, I mean, being down 4-1, I thought it was over. And just throughout that series, I was thinking, man, it's sometimes you just gotta fade me and Josh because we both said Dodgers easily. And then the Blue Jays kind of,
Right.
as soon as we said that, the Blue Jays won the next two games, and I'm thinking, man, you just gotta fade us sometimes because it does not look good for the Dodgers, but as you said, Josh, $1 billion pitching staff, the money talks, and it paid off. That pitching staff finally got together. Snell didn't look the best, and Ohtani didn't look the best, obviously, in that Game 7, but Yamamoto came through clutch. Kershaw had a clutch game before that. So the staff came through when it needed to. It was worth the money in the end for them. A little rough to get there, but worth the money in the end over there. So, but yeah, I think it was just honestly, one of the best Game 7s I ever seen. I was on the edge of my seat watching it. And we're not the I love the Red Sox. Listen, I'll watch any Red Sox game, but sometimes the rest of the baseball isn't the best. But that game was just
Yeah.
action packed and drama filled. So that was one of the best Game 7s I've ever seen. Maybe one of the best baseball games I've ever seen. And I mean, those bases loaded, Josh. I mean, they both going back to back again out of bases loaded jams with one out. I mean, he just plays at the plate. They threw him out. Will Smith, that foot was almost off the base, but that was clutch from him getting it back on. Very close call over there, but I mean that was just insane. I mean, bases loaded, and you get the same kind of grounder at second base twice for both teams to get out of those sticky situations. So great game. Hey, shout out to the Dodgers. I was a little torn, Josh. I won't lie. I know the Blue Jays are the rivals and everything, but they're not like the Yankees, the Rays, and the Orioles never really scared me too much and everything. It's kind of just the Yankees I hate. Blue Jays, they're different. Obviously, want to beat them, don't want to see them win, but I would have liked to see a smaller market team win that one. But Dodgers just
Agreed.
pulled it out. You got to give them the credit where it's deserved. So back to back since the Yankees, since Josh's Yankees back in I think '98 to 2000. So what a great MLB season, great season for the Red Sox. I slipped that in there, but yeah, Josh, just one of the best baseball games I've ever seen.
Agreed. I mean, just I don't know how they did it, but they did it, and I think it was just a true testimony to how talented that team is. I mean, they are just so much depth. I mean, just you're talking about guys like Miguel Rojas, who in Podges, I mean, who, we aren't even thinking Ernie Clement. On the flip side, on the Blue Jays was unbelievable. I mean, just those depth guys who just stepped up in the postseason and in the World Series. As you mentioned, Blake Snell, yeah, he didn't pitch the best when he started, but he did what he had to do in that game 7 on the mound, coming in for relief. And then just crazy World Series. Great MLB season, really was. Definitely tip of the cap there. But moving forward, let's talk about these guys. 3-5 right now. They're on a 2-game losing
Here we go.
streak. They were able to rally. They lost twice to the 76ers. And I'm like, all right, enough losing to them. What do? They come out, they play really good. They beat them in that group play. Watch them somehow compete for the NBA Cup. But I mean, then they get killed by the Rockets. They lose by 2 points yesterday to the Jazz. They didn't even have Walker Kessler playing. I mean, I don't know, Ben. Again, I'm not going to stray away from this. The Boston Celtics should make the playoffs. I'm done. I'm not hearing it from anybody. They should be a playoff team. I don't care now. I've even moved it back. I said they should be a top 5 team. I'll trim it back a little bit. I get it. The center depth. I said this to Jerry. I said this to James. I said this to Jared. They needed to go out and address that. They haven't done that in any years. They draft all these guards. They stash all these guards and all these forwards up in Maine, and then they never use them. I don't know why. We haven't had, Kristaps, I guess, but we haven't had like a nice ball dominant, enforcer center. I think we need that. We need somebody who's going to snag rebounds. Haven't had that in quite some time. So that's what's hurting them, Ben. And I'm going to push the goalpost back a little bit, or move them forward as you will. And I'll give Jerry in the green goggles, the green teamers, this. Again, I'm a Celtics fan myself,
Jerry.
but I don't go overboard. They should make the playoffs. And at the very least, Ben, I don't care how you get in. If you're an 8 seed or you're a 6 seed, just get in, make the play in and get in. First, I said they shouldn't even make the play in. They should be ahead of that. Now I'm saying just make the play in and be one of those 8 teams when the actual playoffs turn on. That's it. That's all I'm asking for.
I don't think it's a unreasonable request, Josh. Just said the talent of the East. I think we should, even with this roster right now without Tatum and sort of the lack of depth at key positions, I think we should still be able to sneak in to at least a playing game. The East isn't as good as the West. We can just say it as that. It's just plain simple. So we got to be able to sneak in there. And it's not like we're not in these games, Josh. It's just that's the frustrating part about this, too. That Jazz one was just, without Walker Kessler, what are we doing? I don't know how we're losing to the Jazz on that one. Keontae George just went off in the second half. I mean, if he's dropping 31 on you, that's a bit of a problem over there. But I think it's just a bigger problem, Josh. And it's kind of, I know Joe Mazzulla is already getting fed up with it, but it's this just chucking threes strategy. I mean, we've got these leads. I mean, it's been all cool. Listen, I'm not saying get away from it. It's been I know he keeps yelling about these 2-on-1s, and that's how we got to play. And it's simple. Find the 2-on-1, pass it out there. But, it's simple too. When you get a lead, we've been up by how many double-digit leads this season already. And, maybe not chuck up the threes every time when you establish a lead like that. Maybe if you're chasing a lead, we can do that or start off the game. But we got to adjust. We got to do some in-game adjustments. Right now it was like I said, it's been cool these past couple seasons. The 3-ball and highest percentage and yada yada yada, most attempts in the history. It's a good strategy. It's the league now. I understand that you gotta shoot threes to win, but we gotta corral it in somehow, Josh. When we get up a certain point, we gotta be able just to take the 2 or just take a basic shot and control the game, because we start checking up these threes and that double-digit lead turns into single digits, and next thing you know, only a couple possession game, and then we're losing. And that's what's been the case in some of these games. We just have somebody against the Jazz up 12 points at halftime and everything, and just blowing that lead. So there's just got to be some in-game adjustments, Josh. I know Mazzulla's been getting mad at everybody and getting a little pissed at all the questions and everything, but they're right to ask the questions. I mean, if we keep losing these games when we're winning and have these big leads, maybe we should change up something. And it's not a bad strategy. Like I said, it's the way of the NBA now, but we don't have to chuck up threes every time, Josh, especially without Tatum now. when we get these big leads, let's just try to just be a little more conservative and just protect the lead. Don't need to keep throwing up all these threes, but the Celtics, it's been a hit or miss so far, Josh. I've been liking what I've been seeing from some of the guys. I don't want to butcher his name, Ninyet, or I kind of I always butcher his name. I can't pronounce his name on that. He's like a guard. He's been playing well. I kind of butchered it, Josh. It's the NG. He's got like NGI or something. I can't pronounce his name.
NGI. Minot?
I'm probably butchering. Probably butchering his name. I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look it up.
Josh Minot. That one. No, not him. No.
Yeah, him. Josh Minot. Yeah, Josh Minot. No, you said it. You said Josh Minot.
Okay, I was making sure. I was looking at.
I saw his name on the lineup. I said, "Who is that guy?" I never.
That's what I'm saying.
Never heard of him before. Maybe that's a lack of knowledge on my part, but he's been playing well.
I think a little lag in there from Ben, but yeah.
There's the lag. There was a lag for me.
Yeah, Ben, I agree. I think this Celtics team right now, very hit or miss. And guess what? You're playing against some hit or miss teams right now. Coming up down the stretch here, just taking a look. The Celtics, their very next game, going up against the Wizards. This is arguably one of the worst franchises in the league. So just this next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, I'll say this next. I was kind of looking all over the place here. But I mean, you've got the Wizards who aren't playing well. They're not that good. Magic, who are underperforming right now. A lot of people in Orlando kind of upset. It's early again. We're not even 10 games. We're not even 8th through the season yet. But again, another team. You can be 5-5, get back on track. You've got both of these games. That's a group stage cup game. Then you've go Magic, Sixers. That'll be a big one. They're playing really good. Then you go Grizzlies, Clippers, Nets, Magic, Pistons. So all the way up until Thanksgiving. So, I mean, again, some tough grizzled teams there. No pun intended. Grizzlies, that'll be kind of a good matchup. Clippers, Magic, Pistons. But again, take advantage of these next 2 games. You know, you've got a railing Magic team. You've already won a game in the group in the NBA Cup. If that gives you some momentum, again, I don't even know how in I am on the NBA Cup, but beat up on this Wizards team at home. Go beat the Magic on the road twice, or at least take one of those games on the road and move on from there. I mean, again, Celtics 3-5 right now, super early. I agree with Jerry. I'm going to take a page out of Jerry's book. He's been on the show. Huge Celtics fan. I'm going to take a page out of his book. It's early. Once it's 40 games down the line and, you know, there are a bunch of games below 500, then we panic. But I want to see them get back to 500 within these next 2 games. And let's see what they can do. Beat up against bad teams. That's fine. That's fine. As Ben mentioned, the East is not all that. There's not all the competition in the East. That's not where the championships are going to be looking to be won. Will be in the East. But moving forward here, we've got the Boston Bruins. Again, another team just around 500. We can't escape it. 7-7. You know, finally off to a 3-game winning streak here, Ben. As I'm seeing here, they beat the Islanders. Then they beat the Sabres in overtime, beat the Hurricanes 2-1, and now they've got the Islanders again. They've got Senators, Maple Leafs, Senators. So interesting little back and forth between the Bruins and the Celtics. They've got a bunch of these same repeated matchups here, but same thing with the Bruins. I'm liking what I'm seeing out of Middlestat. I know guys like Tyler and those diehard Bruins fans I've been seeing online, they want him out by the trade deadline, see what we can get for him. I don't hate moving on from some of the packages, but I'm still going to say the same thing. Get McAvoy out of here. I'm not the biggest fan. He's already kind of hurt and in and out. But other than that, I like Middlestat. I like Geeky's been playing good. But again, Ben, you're not going to go too far when you have guys like Middlestat, Geeky as your second or third options. And, you know, the Elias Lindholms, who, again, somebody who I'm just looking back at that signing was supposed to be what they thought, competent center. And he's kind of underperformed. But Bruins are right on path for what I thought they were going to be, Ben. 7-7. I know they started off 3-0, but 3-game win streak again. This is what they're going to do. And I think this is exactly what Ben talked about earlier. It's going to be the ups and the downs, and Bruins might be a little more streaky than the Celtics in terms of ups and downs. But my thoughts on the Bruins, Ben, just coast to 500. That's it. Just play good, develop some of these guys, get some assets. That's all. I'm not expecting a run at all.
Yeah, no, like I said, we're just having fun this year, Josh, and all that. But now these past couple of games have been good. 3-game winning streak, and been seeing what they sort of wanted to build. Kind of get back to those big bad Bruins, just low scoring games, defense stepping up, and just get two or three goals and just allow one or two against, just one or two against, and just kind of grind out wins like that. You're not gonna have an explosive offense, but you play good on the defensive side and force your will on some of these teams. Just play that big bad Bruins style hockey and just eke out some of these close wins, and they've been doing that. So this has been good from them. Kind of that's what they wanted to build around this team because, like I said, there's not a lot of talent there. It's pretty much just McAvoy and Pasta. Geeky's been good too. Over just people that you knew before the season and everything. So, but I agree, Josh. I think we should let's trade McAvoy. Let's get a nice haul for him. No, he's injured still. He's been injury plagued and all that, but he's very talented, and we can get a lot for him right now still. So I say we just capitalize on that, build around Pasta, get some more pieces around him, and let's just keep this style of play up. Just grind out some of these wins. Just be a defensive team. Be hard hitting. And just nothing easy. Just no easy games. And like I said, it's good to see the Bruins 500 now, but probably just going to be ebbs and flows in this. But like you said, too, Middlestad's been stepping up. I know 98.5 was killing him the first couple games and everything. He's been getting beat on. So good to see him step back up and everything. And Swayman. He's been inconsistent, but he's kind of calmed it down a little too. So, but I think just the defensive front of him, as long as we're playing that gritty, hard-nosed style, it's going to keep us in the games. It's going to keep it entertaining. So we can just be able to get some of those low-scoring games and just capitalize on that. So I'm excited for the Bruins still. I'm still excited. Still providing some hope for us and everything. But no, I think they're on par for the course right now. So. And yeah, I'm with you too, Josh, on that. I'm not too excited about the NBA Cup. I don't know how much it's going to pique my interest for the Celtics. Hopefully they can turn it around there. I know it doesn't really count, but maybe it'd be nice to get some momentum from there and can translate into actually something that matters. But yeah, beat up on these teams like the Wizards, get that confidence up. Same with the Bruins, got to beat up on some of these bad teams. Just for both Boston teams, Josh, they need to get their confidence up and take the games they're supposed to win because it's not going to be an easy year for either of them, so they can't squander away those games they're supposed to. So I'm optimistic about where they're both at right now, Josh.
Speaking of squandering games, we were getting some of our NFL fans back in here, and hey, we're going to be transitioning back. I didn't get too much time to dive into them. We talked more about this trade, which love the trade, Charlie. I think it's good. You got you're not going to hit on all the picks. I was saying that to Ben. You had 4 first-round picks in the next 2 years. You weren't going to hit on all those picks. I'm fine with it. You went out. You haven't had a good run stop, clearly. So now you've got Kenny Clark, Osa, and you've got Quentin Williams. You're paying over $60 million between the 3 of those guys for now. But interested in seeing what happens there. And yeah, Kindreth, I don't know. I think this defense is just not good, and penalties. Outcoached, sloppy play. Yeah, George. Penalties.
I've seen that one before.
Defense bad, outcoached, sloppy play, no heart is the 5 keys to why the Cowboys lost that game. And hey, guess what? Good for Jacoby Brissett, former Patriot, goes out, plays well, wins them 2 or 3 games. Every game that they've been in this year, it seemed super close. Like 4 of their losses have been like at the last second. So yeah, they go out there, they name Jacoby Brissett the starter, but Kindreth, I'll get to your point here, and this is what we're going to start off with. We got a little more time because my Cowboys are on the bye this week. But Kindreth, let's talk about your Patriots. They have a big game coming up here, 7-2, going up against 6-2 Tampa Bay Bucks, fresh off a bye week here. Ben, what do you expect in this matchup? we got a little time before we hop right into who we think's going to win. But what are you expecting? What's going to happen in this game for you, Ben?
This is sort of not the first true test, obviously. That game in Buffalo was good. Hey, shout out Mary. There's Mary. But no, obviously that was the first true test for the Patriots and everything. But this is the real deal one. Nobody was expecting that Buffalo win. It's Mary. There, shout out Jimmy.
How's it going?
There he is. Nobody expected that Buffalo win, so this is expectations a little more adjusted now, different. Obviously, it's 7-2 and in control of that division and the driver's seat. So, but going down to Tampa, a very tough place to play, especially off the bye. Bucks well rested. Obviously, injuries have plagued that team already, so get out of the bye week, get a bye week in there, get another just week of rest for them. That can only do them good. That can only do well for them. So for the Patriots, yeah, Kansas City lost too. Shout out, yeah. I mean, I bet I knew the Bills were going to win that too. I know Josh predicted that one as well. So shout out to the Bills and Jared on that one. But no, I think for this one, this is going to be a good litmus test for Drake May. This Tampa Bay defense with Todd Bowles over there. This is going to be a good little test for him. Let's see what he can do on the road. I know they've obviously been great on the road so far this year, but I guess at different expectations. So let's see what they can do right now. I'm expecting this to be a great game, Josh. Very exciting game between Baker and Drake. You saw sort of Baker already have a duel with Sam Darnold a couple weeks ago in that one. I'm expecting maybe a little same kind of trend in this one, a shootout over there, but I don't think Pats fans are going to be happy with my prediction, but we can tease that one a little. But I think this is just going to be a great test for them. So for the Patriots, let's see what they can do. Let's see what Drake May can do over there in Tampa. Like I said, hostile place to play over there. So, but it's going to be one of the better games on the slate for Sunday, Josh. So I'm excited to see that one.
I couldn't agree with you anymore. I mean, you look at this, you look at the little history. Obviously, these guys, Tom Brady goes there. Yeah, I'm feeding into it a little bit too much, but no, great game here. Both two teams, both two quarterbacks going for the MVP conversation in that MVP race. Both similar, well-coached teams. As you mentioned, Todd Bowles and his defense been really good. Very, something about the Bucks. Even when Tom Brady was there, they had this nitty-gritty, stingy defense. Shout out those Carlton Davis days. He's now a Patriot, but this is going to be a good one in Tampa Bay. I'll go first here. I honestly, up until now, I've kind of gone back and forth all week, all day. Who do I think is going to win this one? That'll be a good one. I'm telling you, Kindred, they're going to lose. Patriots are going to lose that one. And I think they are going to lose this one. I don't think it's a bad thing, though. I think they can have well over 10 wins this year. They could even finish with 12. I think this is a big game. This is the Buccaneers are fresh off a bye. They're getting Egbuka back healthy. Hopefully they'll get their running backs healthy. They don't want to trot out Sean Tucker again. Decent guy there, but
not bad.
Yeah, he's okay. But no, this is Patriots are going to drop one at one point. What are they? 6 or 7 wins in a row now. I think 6, I believe. But I think the Patriots are going to be tested. I think Baker Mayfield's playing great football. And I think you kind of saw, examples of last week and just small points where you thought, that could have been a game the Patriots lost. Again, I think that the Atlanta Falcons are the most overrated franchise in football. Every year I'm hearing about these guys and Kyle Pitts and Bijan Robinsons and the Michael Penixes and the Terrells and yada, yada, yada. And they just can't get out of their own way. And guess what? They literally couldn't kick a extra point to save their chances of winning that game. So I think the Patriots, they're going to have a little bit more than they can handle. It's going to be a great game though, Ben. They're not going to get rolled. I think Drake May does turn the ball over once. Tough atmosphere. But again, I think this is going to be a win that kind of wakes the Patriots up. They realize, they're sniffing that good stuff right now. They're feeling really good. They've got 6 wins in a row. I think they need a little bit of humbling. I think they can take this loss, as crazy as that is. I know they're going for that number 1 seed, but I do think they lose. I disagree with Kindreth. I'm going to say Patriots. I'm going to say Patriots lose 31-28. Yeah, sorry, Mary. I don't really like Kyle Pitts. I think he's super overrated. But yeah, I think Patriots lose 31-28. Baker Mayfield, just the dog in him, they find a way. But again, wouldn't be surprised if the Patriots win. Kind of a backhanded.
No, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, a little backhanded one. No, it's always good.
It's
Throw
close.
that
It's
one
close.
at the Patriots. No, it's definitely close on that one. One of your key points too, Josh, right there. I think eventually the Patriots going to have to lose a game. 6-game winning
That's what I
streak
mean.
until
That's what I
everything
mean.
comes to an end. And just Bucks off a bye, well rested. Mecca's coming back. Not sure if Godwin's going to be back, but he should be coming. He should be. With the bye week over there.
I
He
don't
doesn't like
get
that
it
one.
with
I
this
know.
guy. What has he done,
He's a
Ben?
little
What
soft
has
spot
Kyle
for
Pitts
everybody.
done?
Fantasy wise, they're talking fantasy wise. They got a
Okay,
soft
okay,
spot for him
okay.
over there. But yeah,
That's
no,
fine.
it's tough. Listen, as a Florida fan, I want Nimes had higher expectations for him and everything. He's been a little inconsistent. Let's just say that. With some, not to his
That's a good way to
fault.
put it.
Quarterback play has been spotty over there, but yeah, Kyle Pitts definitely has not lived up to some of the expectations. But some people got soft spots for him. I don't have a soft spot for the Patriots in this one. I'm going to go Bucks. I could see him winning, like Kindred said, 27-21. I could see the Pats obviously winning. Very good team. I mean, the good team, a very good team. But I think just the Bucks off a bye, getting a little healthier. Baker's going to be determined. The Panthers coming that NFC South. They're not looking bad. Bucks want to stay on pace for that division. They're 5-4, so they're not out of it over there and everything. But no, I think the Bucks just want to stay on pace with that. So I think the Bucks get this win. I'll go 31-24. It'll be a high scoring game. But I think some of those turnovers come back to haunt Drake May in this one. I think he'll probably commit one or two. I know that's how the Falcons got back into it, and we didn't even talk about how the Falcons accused the Pats of cheating. We didn't even talk about that one. I
So
know he kind of
stupid.
threw that one in. Yeah, that one was
What
a
is that
little.
even about, Ben? What is it even about?
Yeah,
I didn't even look
they said
into it because it's so stupid.
it was on that intentional grounding play. They're saying that the Patriots,
I
Jalen
remember
Hawkins
that. Yeah.
clapped during it to simulate the center clapping, in which he snapped to simulate Penix clapping so the center would snap it, and that's when they got the intentional grounding, and they weren't in field goal range, Josh, but they were driving for that game-winning field goal. So, but yeah, it's just stupid. It's just kind of a stupid move from the Falcons. They just
Pretty
yeah,
much.
that's what I'm saying. I mean, yeah. It's pretty
Ben,
much that.
Ben
That's
low
what
key
everyone's
buys
been
it.
saying.
Ben's.
Yeah,
I'm
I love
starting
it.
to
I love
think
it.
Ben's buying
I
it.
love it to rile him up. I love to rile it up and everything. Hey, I mean, he did clap. But I mean, if you're not cheating, you're not trying. So, but I think the Falcons just kind of the refs stink. Trust me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
agree with
that's what it
Charlie.
was.
It's
Yeah,
just
that pretty much
ridiculous.
decided the game, I think. Yeah,
Ben,
no, I just like to have a little fun with it. We like to have a little fun with them. Come on, see how riled up they are, Josh? They already got them riled up. They're already upset about it. So, uh,
That's
uh
a good point.
yeah, that's a good
That's a
point. That's a
great
good point
point.
from
Great
Jimmy on
point.
that one. Yeah, they're getting torched. Guy getting torched over there. So that's not a good look. Yeah, not a good look, Josh. But I wouldn't be too concerned with it. I think Gonzalez will be fine after that. Drake London's he's a beast.
Moving forward, Sunday night football, 8:25. Your Steelers going up against the Chargers. This is a great game. I think this is very even in my opinion. I think two teams that just kind of above 500. They'll surprise you with that one win, but then they'll lose that game. You're kind of like, what? I don't even know. This is another game, dude. I'm just like, I don't even freaking know who's gonna win. I'll go fast because we're running out of time here, and I want to give you time to talk about your Steelers. I'm gonna go the Chargers. I think they're at home. Steelers coming off that huge win. As Ben said, they're kind of up and down. They're up and down. I'm gonna stick to my original take. Thought the Steelers were gonna kind of, struggle a little bit. I think they go back to 5-4. They've still got a great grip on that division, so it's not really gonna kill them. I mean, I shouldn't say that. I still think they'll be in first place. Obviously, excuse me, Ravens climbing up that ladder, but I think Chargers at home, Justin Herbert. I think I don't know. He hasn't been playing the best either, but I look at that Steelers defense and I could see them kind of reverting after that big win. I got the Chargers in a close one. I'm going to say 27-26, really close game.
Yeah, I definitely see it close. There's the Ravens in there. But yeah, no, this one's a little more tough to read, Josh. Last week's game. It's because it's a great matchup, G. It's a great matchup. That's that's a hot take. That's a hot take. The Ravens won. But this one's a little tougher to read, Josh, than that bounce back game last week. Definitely see us losing this one. At home against the Chargers, this is just a primetime game we lose. But I'm going to take us to win. Defense stepped up last week, and that offense showed me a few things with Calvin Austin back and everything. So, yeah, we still got that division. But I think we win this game. It's not as confident as the Colts one, Josh, I will say. I could definitely, like I said, I could definitely see us losing this one. I wouldn't be shocked. So, not as confident in this one. But I think we keep it rolling. We gotta, like I said, the Ravens are coming right back on us. Lamar looked great. I know it was against the Dolphins, but that offense looks like it's clicking again with him over there. So gotta get these wins because the schedule isn't letting up anytime soon. Got a bunch of big division games later on. So gotta play the Ravens twice. So gotta get this win. Not as confident, Josh. Great win for us last week, but I'll take him. Take him this week, but not very confident in it.
Hey, it's a close game. Another good game. Patriots and Steelers got some good games coming up this week. All right. I've been on the mend with this team. I'm gonna say it now. My lock of the week, the Buffalo Bills against the Dolphins, who should have been like the Jets. They should have got rid of Minka. They should have got rid of Waddle. They should have just like shipped it all in, sailed it all in. Why not get the draft capital? You need a new quarterback. You need a new coach, everything. I think McDaniel's in over his head. Again, I actually I'm not crazy about him or the Dolphins. I don't really care about, but I actually felt bad watching them get booed, and you got fans wearing paper bags over their heads. I don't care if they're at home. Bills. These are the games we talk about beating up on those bad teams. This is what the Bills, I think, will do this weekend. Divisional game. I don't think it'll be close. I'll say 30-17. Josh Allen and the guys, they're rolling right now. They know, they hear the critics, and hey, they didn't do much at the trade deadline. Now they're going to show why they didn't.
That one Bills rolling, so never go wrong with that one. I should have just said this one already, but I'll go quick.
I was thinking that.
This is the lock. Yeah, I forgot this is my lock. This is more of a troll job too, but I'm going Bucks as my lock. This is just a nice little troll. I already gave my explanation for the bye week and yada yada yada, but yeah, it's more of a just troll pick. I like to get everyone riled up with that one, but give me the Bucks. Nice lock.
Yeah, so I'll go kind of quick here. This is a team, I don't know how everybody, like every week I look at the spreads and like another overrated team. I know they're better than my Cowboys right now. They're also in Texas. I think the Jags are going to go on the road. They're going to win. They just made a nice little trade. They went out, got another receiver. They believe in themselves right now. Obviously, they lost Travis Hunter. Brian Thomas hasn't been the best. Maybe they can go. They feel, hey, you know what? They went out, got Jacoby Myers, get him out of Oaklandville, get him to a competent team here. So Jacksonville Jaguars are going to get the win on the road. I don't like the Houston Texans right now. I'm going to say Jags win this one in a close one, 27-23. I like the Jacksonville Jaguars winning that one. Gonna, as always, turn it over to Ben. But want to say this, Cowboys, I love it. You landed Quinnen Williams. You traded one of your draft picks. Don't love what they did last night. Don't think they're going to be a playoff team. But hey, I never thought I'd say it, but I'm actually really excited for the bye week. So I'm going to enjoy this bye week. And yeah, good luck, Patriots. You're going to have your hands full against the Bucks this week. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. To Ben.
As always, thank you, Josh, and thank you everyone tuning in. Appreciate the comments. Don't listen to Cheese. Last comment, my picks have been a little spotty this year, but I did well last week, so hopefully we can be on the up and up now. My upset, I'll go quick. Cardinals, Jacoby Brissett coming in there. Cardinals just look like a different team with Brissett in charge over there. Division game, so it's going to be close. Seahawks going to have a come down game. I got the Cardinals in that one. As always, thank you to everybody. Steelers going to win. Pats going to lose. And Jordan Love, you stink.
Timeout talks. Timeout talks.